Hello everyone, welcome to today's episode of Lucia Craft. I'm your host Lucia and Ulla.
Hello, I'm Ulla from Finnish Chamber. Nice to meet you all.
Hi, my name is Jill. I work with our group. Yeah.
And Johan.
Thank you, Ulla. Welcome to the Art Group Beijing office. Very pleased to have you here. So we worked for about 15 years with cooperation between first North Europe, China and rest of Europe and the world, working with overseas listings, mergers and acquisitions with Chinese companies and advising many European companies on market entry, sourcing, mergers and acquisitions, setting up factories and running operations in China and rest of Southeast Asia.
So you found this office in Beijing, right? So
Yeah.
when you came to China?
So I came first time in 2010 to China and first time to Beijing, and then I was back and forth and since 5 years now living in Beijing.
Okay, so what's your impression that time when you first came to China? And after this year's stay, what the changes have you seen?
So back then that was a big change, of course, coming from rural Sweden to experience Asia and China and that period with very rapid development and just all the people, and also right after there just been the 2008 Olympics.
Okay.
That's really got to experience the kind of contrasts and also just the energy and vastness of Beijing and China. See that super modern architecture and all the very classic sites, Forbidden City and so on. I've been lucky to be able to see lots of different parts of China and also during these years really notice the increase in Chinese people and Chinese businesses going abroad.
Okay, and I noticed that during you lived and worked in other countries before, and you also take part in a lot of relevant activities. So what's the connection started? Why and when?
My master started in Sweden back to 2015. So for the past 8 years, I did many different communication projects between China and Nordic countries, and I got quite much inspiration by Nordic countries, and I spent 1 year up to Svalbard, which is very high Arctic. It's a more even north, up to north. So it's very authentic and unique experience for me.
I think Nordic countries seem to be more and more interesting to China and Chinese companies. More and more companies are coming to China, and I'm very positive of the aspect that this cooperation will grow year by year now. And of course, we have had a number of activities together with the FinnCham and ARC group as well. And I think one of the big things has been your resourcing reports that you do, such a wide and comprehensive report that you publish every year. We would definitely like to hear more about that, right?
And one of the recurring things we have been doing for many years, that is to specifically ask about sourcing and supply chain and ask 100 or so companies to share what is their current challenges, what are they doing and what are they thinking to do, so you get forward looking for where are they going to buy products and set up factories in the future. And also being anonymous survey, you get some of this, how are they actually doing in terms of experiencing risks and challenges.
In which development period that the companies need yourself? From the beginning or in the middle time or just the whole process?
We do work with pretty much across the whole process.
Which factors can influence your business most?
I think the big one is how much of business and new business and investments are done between China, East Asia and the rest of the world. That's mostly what we work with when it's either investments in both directions, like building new factories or doing market entry here, or Chinese companies going global and getting listed abroad. Those things really, that is our role to help make that cross-border collaboration happen. So
Is it increasing, the business?
Yes.
I think now it's quite a good, optimistic year.
Yeah.
So we actually had the whole world trade somewhat going down. For this year, yeah, I think the overall numbers, it's still some mixed signals, but a lot more enthusiasm, and particularly for Chinese companies going abroad.
Yes.
And also, of course, a lot of the Western companies who now had a year to actually come and visit their Chinese operations and have been taking these investment decisions during about the past half year or so. So I think that's a quite marked change, and that also makes us optimistic. Now they are actually deciding and saying, this is how we're going to work with the China market or with the East Asia market. And then that means a lot of work needs to be done here.
Okay, and my next question I want to give you all my guess. Like recently, the foreign media just hyping up the narrative that China's economy has reached its peak. What do you think about this opinion, and what's your opinion about the Chinese market? Johan first.
And when I start to look at, well, first a place like Beijing, that is in many ways more developed than many parts of Europe, and even if looking on the average, a place like Beijing, that is starting to get really to European levels. But then China is vast, and there's so many more places and so many more people who there is no reason why they wouldn't be at European levels of prosperity in some time. So to get there, then there's a lot more room for all kinds of development in China, with much more investment and much more business opportunities. There's also plenty of possibility overall in the economy to make it work more efficiently, have more education, much more broadly, and lift the efficiency of so many enterprises to get that productivity up. And some of that is happening, and some companies, they are investing heavily both in education and in automation to get factories which will continue to produce even when you have that headwind of more expensive labor. So there's plenty of those factors there. Just China, and that's why I would say that this having peaked. No, I don't think so, and there's plenty of reasons why a Chinese economy should have the potential to grow a lot in many years ahead and continue to have a very important role both in the region and globally.
I very much echo what Johan said, and the fact is that China is very difficult to predict, as we have seen throughout the years. And this year, January and February, actually Chinese manufacturing sector and retail sector, they grew faster than expected. And I think the manufacturing sector grew like 7.7%, and it surprises many. But then I have been visiting Chinese factories, and the way of cost efficiency in smart manufacturing, utilizing the robots and automatization of everything, make this country very cost effective. I've been in the market, so and when there are challenges like growing aging population, it also creates a lot of opportunities. So there's always pros and cons. So I also do believe that China will continue be the leading market growth place in the world.
Mm-hmm. And what about June? What's your opinion?
I think Chinese market is still growing for like e-commerce sectors and also the digital media, online media, and we have very much big potential on consuming goods, I would say. So because you know the Chinese speed, we deliver things very fast.
Do you have some more questions to ask?
No, I think time is up, and we have covered quite many topics, from the politics to trade to sourcing to supply chains. I just hope that we will have a very fruitful year. You will have a very fruitful year for your company. I wish more and more collaboration between the Nordic countries and China.
Okay, that's all for today.
Yes.
Thanks for coming.
Well, very happy to have you here. I guess it's still possible to wish Daja Longma Jingsheng.
I would like to say just stay tuned for the looking forward to the next episode and subscribe it. Yes.
Okay, see you. Bye.
Bye.
See you next time. Bye bye.